Pro wrestling is scripted, but not fake. Yes, several wrestlers have been fatally injured and have been sidelined for months. Interestingly, many wrestlers went above and beyond to ensure that their opponents didn't suffer from any such injuries. I'm Jeremy, and here are 6 WWE superstars who saved their opponents from fatal injury. Number 6, Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is arguably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. The former WWE and AEW World Champion has been able to evolve his character over the past few decades to become a huge star regardless of the promotion he is a part of. One incident dating back to May of 2009 further showcased why Jericho is one of the best. During a match against Jeff Hardy on an episode of SmackDown, the charismatic Enigma was looking to hit the Whisper in the Wind on Jericho, but slipped on the ropes while doing so. Noticing that Hardy was about to fall backward on his head, Y2J got in the way and in his unique way pushed Jeff hard on his back. The gesture helped Hardy regain his balance, and the two would go on to finish the match. The match would go on without anyone getting injured. Number 5, Fandango. Former WWE superstar Fandango had a mediocre run in the promotion where he barely witnessed his true in-ring potential. Following his debut in 2013, Fandango showcased flashes of brilliance in many of his matches, and one such incident happened during a battle with Cody Rhodes on Raw back in 2013. At one point in that match, Rhodes climbed up to the top turnbuckle and attempted to hit a moonsault on Fandango. It might have been a miscommunication as Fandango was a bit out of position and it looked like Rhodes was set to land on his head. Realizing how dangerous it could be, Fandango quickly got in the way and was able to catch Cody in a move to prevent an injury. It can be said that Cody Rhodes has to thank Fandango for helping him avoid certain injury, otherwise his career might have been very different. Number 4, Curt Hennig, or Mr. Perfect. On a late 1997 episode of WCW Monday Nitro, Curt Hennig went one-on-one with Chris Jericho. During the final moments of the match, Jericho tried to hit a lion salt on Hennig, but made a little bit of an error. As he bounced off the second rope, he didn't quite get a full rotation and was about to land straight on his head. Mercifully, Hennig put his knees up as Jericho came down, preventing him from slamming headfirst against the mat. Chris almost panicked as he bounced off the second rope, but when he landed, he definitely knew how close of a call this was. Yes, it was likely that Hennig was supposed to put his knees up anyways, but Jericho's near miss was definitely not a part of the script. Planned or unplanned, Curt Hennig did save Chris Jericho that night, and Y2J would go on to win multiple championships and be a world champion in both WWE and AEW. Number 3, Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins worked together for almost 2 years when they were a part of the Shield, but when the two stars finally collided against one another with the World Championship on the line back in 2016, Rollins had only recently returned from injury. If you remember, the Architect was sidelined with a knee injury owing to a botched sunset flip from the top rope. Seth was forced to vacate his WWE World Championship due to that incident and missed nearly 7 months of active competition. When Rollins returned to action at Extreme Rules in 2016, he went straight against Roman Reigns, who was the reigning WWE Champion at the time. Although they were bitter rivals on screen, Reigns did help Rollins prevent an injury when the two squared off at Money in the Bank. As Seth attempted the same sunset flip bomb on his real-life friend, Roman held on to Rollins' leg and aided him to land on his feet. This ensured that Rollins was able to pull off the move perfectly while preventing another serious injury. Number 2, The Undertaker. The Undertaker is considered to be one of the smartest minds in the pro wrestling business. There's a reason why the dead man is revered by everyone, and during a brawl on the episode of SmackDown before the Survivor Series in 2001, the former world champion proved just why. The Phenom was in the corner of the ring recovering from an angle slam when he noticed that the Big Show was also about to take an angle slam from Kurt Angle, but there was a chair in place where he was set to land. While still selling, the dead man was able to sweep the chair out of the way so that Show didn't get injured while taking the fall. Honestly, it was done so swiftly that the WWE Universe was barely able to catch this gesture by The Undertaker. Anyways, now you know how professional the Phenom actually is, since he was able to prevent the injury of a fellow WWE superstar so easily in the middle of a mass brawl. Number 1, AJ Styles. AJ Styles is undoubtedly one of the most successful pro wrestlers of this generation, and his finisher, the Styles Clash, has played an important role in it. Unfortunately, the move has caused a few injuries in the past, which is why Styles has become more careful while delivering the finisher. One such devastating injury almost happened at SmackDown in 2016, but AJ Styles prevented it. That night, the former WWE Champion took on James Ellsworth on SmackDown Live, with Dean Ambrose as the special guest referee, as Styles and the Lunatic Fringe were feuding at the time. The Phenomenal One looked to deliver the Styles Clash, but just as he was about to jump and flatten out the move, he noticed that Ellsworth Ellsworth had tucked his neck forward instead of backward, and if he would have hit the move, then it would have broken his neck. Styles decided to deliver the move a bit differently and ended up landing on his hands and knees, which ensured that Ellsworth didn't injure his neck and was able to finish the match. If AJ Styles hadn't noticed, who knows what would have happened with James Ellsworth. And that is our list for today. Were there any items on the list that you remember vividly? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and also follow us on the Twitter at SKWrestling_, as well as our Facebook page, facebook.com/SKWrestling. That way you know when the latest news and content comes your way. Thank you for tuning in.